My name's Beth McMahon, and my journey starting as a Pilates instructor really began pretty much in my household, which was pretty athletic and very competitive. And I started at the age of 14 years old teaching acrobatics at a dance studio that I learned most of my flips in. And from there, went into teaching physical education and worked for Norwegian Cruise Lines as a fitness director. And from there, got into many aspects of fitness. We actually hosted international students and professional athletes from around the world in a hosting business that my husband and I did, which brings me to Pilates because we were hosting the Miami Marlins professional baseball players in West Palm Beach as part of our business. And when COVID hit, all of a sudden we had 50 players that were under our hosting program leave and go home because the Major League Baseball shut down. So when that happened, I had just started Pilates several months prior here in Fort Myers. And then when I had moved to West Palm Beach, continued to take Pilates there. And then when our whole business shut down, needed to fill some time. So with that, decided to go on the Pilates journey of teacher training. With our mansions of men being shut down, my husband and I moved back to Fort Myers and discovered Shannon and her teacher training program. And it was the most challenging, invigorating program that I could possibly imagine. To be honest with you, I got my master's degree in exercise physiology and adult fitness, and this certification was harder than that. So harder, more challenging, but definitely more rewarding, because when I brought that knowledge back into the studio to begin teaching, it encapsulated every reason why I just went back full circle from teaching when I was 14 years old to doing this now as more of a retirement type job. That doesn't feel like a job at all. It's actually fun. So that's the nutshell of my journey.
Hi, my name is Hope. I am the lead instructor at Fort Myers Central. So for my Pilates journey, it was a little bit unconventional. I originally started in radio, so I've never gone to school for anything exercise related. The only past history that I would have is I was a gymnast as a kid. I was also a cheerleader. I loved to swim. Anything physical I was really into. And that kind of stopped when I was about 21. So previously, I was just going to the gym myself. I would do all the fun stuff like box jumps, all the things that you see like on Instagram, throwing around the weights. I really wanted to burn some calories. However, I became autoimmune at the age of 22. So that really limited me because I couldn't actually get out of bed a lot of the times. I had a 3-month period where I felt like I had the worst flu of my life. I physically could not even perform my job. I had a desk job at the time, so it's kind of bad if you can't even sit there and type on a computer. So for me, whenever I went to go see the rheumatologist, he actually recommended that I try Pilates so that I could have mobility, really good joint health, and to try and reverse some of the symptoms that I was experiencing, like a lot of the pain. So in November of 2020, I actually took my first intro class here at the Fort Myers Central studio. And it was with Janacy at the time. She actually really inspired me to get into teacher training because I loved how comfortable she made me feel. I walked into the studio, I had never seen any of the Pilates equipment before. I was a little bit overwhelmed, to tell you the truth. So getting into like feet and straps, feeling like I'm on a trapeze for the first time was a little bit overwhelming when you're used to traditional gym exercises. However, after I left that class, I felt so much better. My pain went from about an 8 all the way down to a 3. I was able to perform better at work. I had to lift sound equipment because we were doing things like island hopper at the time. So after I left that, I decided to take classes more regularly, about 4 times a week. I saw the muscle tone come back in my body. I'm naturally very thin, so it's hard for me to put on weight and to build muscle tone. So I saw the development in my own body. I grew confident in the exercises because I felt like I understood what they were asking from me. And after 4 months of taking classes, I decided to jump into teacher training. Enter Shannon. Shannon is our Pilates mother. She is fantastic. She really empowered me to learn more about anatomy. I have no background, again, in anything exercise related, so it was hard for me to understand some of the terminology, but through her guidance, I understood how the body works, why you do certain exercises to get you to an end result that you're looking for. So over time, I've now been teaching about 3 years in total, and I even got to lead instructor. So always room for improvement. It's a really fun time. You get to watch that same improvement not only in your own body, in your own life, but then bring it to your members. And it just makes a better overall quality of life for you and then for all of the people that you get to teach. So it's a fun time.